Hello, I'm excited to share this paper with you all about how generative AI can be harnessed safely and effectively in educational settings for all learners through the lens of stakeholders in education. My name is Ariel Han, a PhD candidate at UC Irvine Informatics Department. I will present this paper on behalf of my co-authors. In 2023, it was really a year of ChatGPT. It became a hot topic of discussion, especially in education. After 2 months of its initial launch in January 2023, the New York City Public School District announced a ban on using ChatGPT in school settings, driven by concerns over academic integrity and data privacy. Although in just 4 months later, in May 2023, the school's district reversed their decision and announced they would instead explore the potential of generative AI in education. This rapid change in perspective highlight the complex nature of our relationship with innovative technologies and adapting in educational settings. This fluctuation primarily stems from the uncertainty surrounding their real-world impact and exacerbated by a lack of empirical evidence. The rapid advancement of generative AI, as demonstrated by tools like ChatGPT and Stable Diffusion, has opened up new possibilities for open context conversation and creative outputs. In terms of pedagogical perspective, who guide the instruction, generative AI present the potential to integrate these instructor-guided and algorithmic-guided educational experiences. Although designing and implementing these new technologies into educational settings is a complex task, requiring an in-depth understanding of the practical, social, and pedagogical aspect of learning environments. Therefore, we pose these research questions of how do stakeholders in elementary school settings, parents, teachers, and students perceive generative AI differently? What are their opinions of the potential benefits and limitations of leveraging generative AI to support teaching and learning writing? The initial phase of the research involved a comprehensive formative study focusing on understanding the perception of key educational stakeholders, teachers, parents, and students, towards generative AI systems like ChatGPT and Stable Diffusion. We conducted a creative visual storytelling workshop with 12 family groups, each consist of a parent and child. We collected students' writing samples and audio-recorded semi-structured interviews in order to better understand students' strategies and struggles when interacting with the current GAI tools. We focused on age 8 to 12, recognized the critical importance of this age range in developing reading and writing skills, and the role of storytelling in their development. In addition to the workshop, we conducted one-on-one interviews with 16 K-12 classroom teachers. The majority of the teachers are affiliated with the National Writing Projects and specialized in writing education. These discussions were crucial in understanding the educator's perspective, integrating generative AI in writing education. Their insight not only informed us understanding of the current educational context, but also helped shape our approaches to designing AI tools that align with their goals and practices. First, we categorized the themes from the qualitative data as an AI perception and examine how AI perception differ among stakeholders in education. The result revealed that the AI perceptions among stakeholders differ as teachers perceive generative AI as part of the digital citizenship development. Therefore, they're willing to introduce the concept to their students, even though they acknowledge some negative aspects such as academic integrity. Teachers are open to explore the opportunities. Parents showed more concerns over data privacy and creativity issue, but they're also acknowledged that AI will be their children's future, so they also want to promote AI literacy. Students are the most openness to new tool. They express positive opinions around generative AI as its helpful companion and interesting use. In light of the diverse perspectives of generative AI we've discussed, we'll further discuss broken down the themes into affordances and limitations of leveraging generative AI in education. This approach is grounded in the rich data we've gathered from our interviews and observations. Our findings demonstrated the values of generative AI as tools with a variety of benefits and challenges. One key advantage of the system lies in its capabilities to enhance pre-instructional stages by generating educational materials that are tailored to each student's individual abilities. Personalization helps the learning materials be relevant to the unique learning pace and style of each learner. Also, generative AI benefits during the instruction phase. The system plays an important role in facilitating interactive learning. It supports question and answer sessions and provides students with immediate feedback. These interactive elements enhances the educational experience and also promotes active participation. Students are encouraged to engage deeply with the material, leading to a more comprehensive understanding and the rich learning experiences. Finally, the system's potential utilities in post-instruction activities by developing a comprehensive rubric and providing assessment tools. This feature aids in evaluating students' learning outcomes, ensuring that educational goals are met effectively. It simplifies the assessment process for educators, allowing them to focus more on teaching and less on administrative tasks, while also providing valuable feedback for students' continuous improvement. While the advantages of generative AI are significant, it's essential to consider the limitation and challenges of this system. Let's shift our focus to some of the limitations that we found from the study. One primary concern we've identified is the challenges of maintaining academic integrity and clarifying authorship when using generative AI content. This raises important questions about how we evaluate and assess original writing in an era of generative AI. Another limitation we found is the autonomy and agency of students when using generative AI-powered learning tools. It becomes challenging to accurately determine each student's individual learning progress and level of independent thinking during writing processes. These tools may blur the lines between AI assistance and student-driven work, raising questions about how do we better distinguish and foster students' independence in learning environment. Finally, we found the challenges in managing bias and misinformation generated by generative AI systems. These systems can sometimes produce content that is random and uncertain, posing a significant challenge in ensuring accuracy and reliability. It's crucial to develop strategies to mitigate these risks, ensuring the integrity and trustworthiness of the content created by generative AI in educational context. Having examined the limitations and challenges associated with generative AI in education, it's clear that thoughtful design strategies are crucial. Our goal is to harness the strengths of generative AI while addressing its pitfalls. We propose a set of design recommendations aimed at maximizing the educational benefits of these systems, which are not only practical but also aligned with our goal enhancing educational experience through generative AI. To address the academic integrity and authorship in the context of AI-assisted writing, we suggest implementing different approaches for assessing learning processes and writing evaluation. These could involve developing innovative metrics and assessment tools that go beyond traditional grading systems. These tools would be designed to accurately assess a student's understanding, creativity, and progress in writing skills, ultimately providing a more holistic view of learning processes. Creating a database to store students' utterances and writing output is the strategic approach to enhance the assessment of students' writing in progress. We also propose facilitating an A/B testing with text similarity analysis that compare the students' writing to machine-generated content, which enable a clear understanding of how closely students are relying on AI for their work. This approach allows us to reflect the students' individual learning outcomes while also highlighting unique contribution of AI in writing processes. Our second design suggestion is about fostering students' agency and autonomy in AI-assisted learning process in order to support self-directed learning where students remain at the center of the learning processes, actively engaging and leading their learning journey. To accomplish this, we'll need to design the AI not just as a tool, but as a collaborator. To do so, we'll allocate AI's role as peers or teachers, not just as assistants, to allow students to take control of the learning processes. We also propose creating a customization and edition feature where students can openly edit and customize their outputs in the process, fostering a sense of ownership and self-direction, rather than passively receiving AI-generated output. Our final suggestion focused on addressing the challenges of bias and misinformation in AI-generated content. We propose a balanced approach in designing generative AI systems to enhance the safety and accuracy of generative AI systems in educational contexts. This can be accomplished through fine-tuning the AI model using carefully selected and safe datasets, coupled with well-crafted prompt engineering strategies, allows more tailored and contextually appropriate responses from the AI, and we can considerably reduce the risk of generating inappropriate content. This approach not only improves the relevancy and quality of the AI's output, but also builds trust in its use as an educational tool. Lastly, we propose integrating educator oversight within GI systems. This approach enables teachers to monitor and guide AI agents, ensuring it's aligned to educational standards and remains unbiased. This design allows educators to curate AI interactions, therefore maintaining content reliability and fostering a secure learning environment. 3 overarching takeaways on how we should design AI agents for learning settings are to allocate AI and students' role appropriately and promote child-centered AI interaction and facilitate adults in the loop system. The contribution of the study is to inform the HCI community by highlighting the practical applications and limitations of generative AI in education, and by offering insights that can guide the design and implementation of generative AI tools in a way that align with the needs and concerns of a variety of stakeholders in education. Please refer to our paper for more detail of the project. Thank you for listening to our presentation.